where things are just moving too fast, and he's awake and he doesn't want to be awake, but now is the time to seize the moment, and so he's awake, but he doesn't want to be awake, and it's kind of crowded, it's kind of warm, it's kind of intense, it's one of those kind of cool, warm spring evenings, nights, early mornings, and then there's all the people that are crammed in, and it seems like more people just keep showing up, and there's not that much space, and the candles are making it kind of warm and stuffy, and the oil lamps are kind of making it a little more tense, and it just close, and there he is, and things are not going well because he didn't want to do this week. It was supposed to be next week. There was a plan. A plan was set out, and it was going to work, and it wasn't supposed to happen this week, but now it's happening this week, and he's out of control. Because this week was Passover, and Passover was a bad time because there's too many people there. And there's too many people know that something could go wrong, and we just need to get this done without anybody really knowing about it because the people are going to be really, really ticked that we arrested Jesus. So what but then the moment came, and we planned, we sat down, we said, not during Passover or the people will rebel. But since this Jesus guy showed up, we've never been in control anyway, and then suddenly one of his disciples shows up and says, look, okay, I got him tonight. Tonight, I can give him to you tonight, and we've got to take this opportunity, and so we got to do it tonight, but this is a horrible time. All right. So now he's awake in the middle of the night, not thinking really clearly, and nothing's going to plan because they didn't have time to get all the pieces in place. They didn't have time to go and get the right people saying the right things that were the wrong things so that we could get Jesus convicted. And so everything's starting to go downhill. And Caiaphas is there, and he's scared too because this proceeding has no legal weight whatsoever. Court is open after business hours. And if it happens at night, Jewish law, court could not be convened at night, so if something's happening at night, it doesn't count. And so he knows he's in a lot of trouble, because if he doesn't get this done quick and it go right, man, everything's going to start falling down. And it's going to fall down to the point where he's going to lose his job, probably, because the backlash, the political backlash, is going to be so huge, it's going to feel like the Congress, after they pass a bailout bill that nobody wants. It's going to be huge. People are going to be upset. And so his nerves are on edge, especially as one by one, Matthew chapter 26, if you have your Bibles, you can go to the story, Matthew chapter 26, starting in verse 60. But even though they found many who agreed to give false witness, they could not use anyone's testimony. And Caiaphas is pacing, frustrated. This has to happen tonight now. This thing is spinning out of control. I don't know what's going on, but we've got to make it happen somehow. Finally, two men came forward who declared, this man said, I am able to destroy the temple of God and rebuild it in 3 days. Then the high priest stood up and said to Jesus, well, aren't you going to answer these charges? What do you have to say for yourself? But Jesus remained silent. If you're watching this on a movie, that camera swings over and zooms slowly in on Caiaphas as he stands up and says, what do you have to say for yourself? And the intensity, he's starting to lose it at this point. He's tired, he's out of control, he's frustrated, and he wants to win really, really badly. And he's starting to spiral out of control. That vein is pulsing in his forehead. The sweat is coming down his face. And the camera screen fades to Jesus, who looks him in the eye and then quietly puts his head down and says absolutely nothing. Caiaphas at this point is about ready to have a full-on mental breakdown. Because everything's on the line. And everything's not working. And if it doesn't happen tonight, he knows he's in a lot of trouble. Everything is in a lot of trouble. And then the high priest said to him, getting more and more angry, more and more intense, I demand you, in the name of the living God, tell us if you are the Messiah, the Son of God. And as soon as he says it, that close-up on his face, his eyes widen because he can't believe he just asked that. That was a bad move. is in trouble. Because what if Jesus doesn't say anything? He just shot the ace out of the hole. What if Jesus says that he is the Son of God? The people are going to be afraid to do anything with him. What if he says that he's not the Son of God? The case falls apart. And then those eyes focus back because he starts to think, I may have just trapped him in the perfect question. Because if he says no, the people will never listen to him again. And if he says yes, I get to kill him. Maybe I trapped him. But he better say something, because if he doesn't say anything, I may be in trouble. I demand you, in the name of the living God, tell us if you are the Messiah, the Son of God. That camera swings back to the face of Jesus. At that moment, the entire place goes deathly silent. Because everyone suddenly knew, okay, this is about losing it, but he just pulled the trigger on the big question. In the room, all the periphery people that are chatting in the back, silent.